Thank you guys for all the support and everything that we've been getting for the response for registration. I decided to take an extra step because a lot of people still ask questions. We had, a lot of people kind of skeptical and things. So I figured this would probably be the best way to kind of ease everybody's tensions and understand, the strides as a free agent player to try to get a look or get better, or get seen. It's not just about working out from a scout, but it's more like working with a coach that can tell you what's wrong, what you're doing wrong. Like I said, I want to introduce to you guys my good friend, proud to announce his name, Jerry Rhome.
It's a real honor to be invited to work in this camp, and what's fun about this is that we can teach. We can be a lot of one-on-one individual teaching.
Right.
We can set up an offense against a defense and have patterns drawn up and be able to show you exactly what you're going to do in this pattern and the coaching point and what kind of release that you're going to make as a receiver, as a defensive back, what you should be, how you should be playing, the look, and basically how the NFL works. As this is exactly what they do, is they have cards of patterns that they're going to run against the defense, and guys run the plays, and so it shows what the defense is supposed to do and what the offense from the other team is doing. At the same time, then you flip it over, and maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes, an hour later, you got your own offense going. And many times we drew up cards for our own offense on a pattern because we're teaching them the techniques on that particular pattern, and then they learn that pattern, and then the next week if we use it or whenever, then they remember that. But we still give it a show in our meeting room, but we don't have that advantage of having you guys with us all the time.
What would you say is probably the people positions you would work with at this camp besides quarterbacks?
Well, I've all through the years, I always had, being an offensive coordinator, basically you've got your hands on everything in the offense. Now, I don't necessarily sit there and teach the offensive line how to pass block, but they certainly understand the pass protections, as to who's going to pick up linebackers, and if a safety comes up, what is going to happen on that. But what we're going to do as far as the offensive skilled players, including the running back, and people a lot of times they say, well, the skilled player, they're all skilled players. But, the running backs have a certain thing they've got to do as far as protection, and then they have certain ways to release to the pass pattern if their particular protection allows them to do that. And then you've got the tight end, who can be either a blocker or a receiver, and you can put him in a position where he can, go. And then you can run 2 wide receivers, 3 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers, and we're going to do all that. And we're going to take patterns, and we're going to show you what this pattern is and the instruction, and then flip it over and run it again, and bounce around so the defense doesn't know what's coming up. But I can promise you, if you go through this camp, you're going to learn how to play in the NFL.
Handling the defensive side of the ball is a mastermind that's just, a good friend of mine I've been working with, 3-time Superbowl champ for the Dallas Cowboys. I just want to introduce you to him. His name is Kevin Smith.
How you doing, man? Kevin Smith, Texas born, Texas bred, man. High school, West Orange Stark High School, won 2 state championships. Went to Texas A&M, was all Southwest Conference 3 years in a row, All-American at A&M 2 years. Jim Thorpe, drafted by the Cowboys #1, and played with some of the most successful teams in the Cowboys' history. Not only that, I think the best thing that I can speak on is that throughout that whole time, the coaching was so remarkable. I mean, being around some great guys, the R.C. Slocums of the world, the Bob Davies, Tom Hayes, Tim Lewis, the list goes on and on. Dave Campo, of course, he's gonna kill me if I don't mention his name. It's Mike Zimmer with the Minnesota Vikings. Played with some great guys that are coaching in the league. Dennis Allen. I played with Aaron Glenn. A lot of the guys, a lot of DB coaches that are in the league right now that are coaching, played against those guys or with those guys. So the resources are there, man. That's the one thing. I've been working with Michael Johnson Performance the last 8 years, getting guys ready for the draft. The last maybe 60 or 70 guys, not only DBs, more, any skill position guys, receivers, running backs. The key, and you go to any camp, you're going to find out, man, it's about getting in and out of your break, beating guys to the spot. Football is not as, it's not as technical and it's not as hard as some of these camps and some of the teachings that you hear. It's all you have to do. Football is simple. You master your football movements and you do it over and over again. That's basically what it is. So if you're working with me, you're going to get a little bored because we're going to do the same stuff over and over every day, because that's what football is all about. You mastering your football movements, being consistent with it, and doing it over and over every day. But so that's what we're offering at the free agency camp, man. To come in, get some knowledge, get some training, understand how to work, understand how to be a professional, and also have access to guys that know people that we can pass the word on based on your workout.
Kevin, what do you think it would probably be, I would say, for the defensive coverages, like with the players, they come here and they learn this stuff, how hard would it be for them to, if they did really, really well, for them to be mentioned, by somebody like coach or a trainer or somebody like your caliber of connections?
Well, the key is, when you mentioned coverages, first and foremost, teams want to see if you're a defense corner, a corner especially, you got to be able to cover man to man. They want to see it. They want to blitz. They want to, put some pressure on the quarterback. You almost have to in today's game. So if you're a corner that can't cover, you can't cover the post, you're not going to play in the NFL. You're not going to play in no league. You can't play high school ball if you're not covering the post. And then you have some guys, you can't just press all the time. You have to play off. So they're looking for guys that are versatile, that can play both sides of the field. If you can play the slot, that helps out a lot as well. But that's the first and foremost thing. You got to be able to play cover one. If you can't do that, then it's, you don't stick out on the field.
That's right.
I can't pass it on. Bryan, you can't pass it on. But if you covered and you all over the place and you all over guys and beating guys to the spot, then that's easy. It's an easy sell. If you're not, we can take. I could probably go play cover two right now. It's not a whole lot to jab and sink.
Right.
But but they look. You can't. Cover two is a pass defense. You got to be able to stop and run. You can't just sit and cover two all the time. So a lot of teams are running quarters across the board. They're only running man free. So for the corners, it's basically man to man. For the safeties, you got to be either a box safety or you're a deep safety. You can either cover some ground like an Earl Thomas, or you're going to be in that box like a Darren Woodson and cover the tight end and and make some plays.
Yeah.
In that box. You got to be able to tackle and you got to be able to cover. So those are the things that the league is looking for. Rangy guys, guys that can move. If you're a press corner, if you got long arms, then if you can press every down, then that's good. If not, you got to be able to do both.
Right, that's excellent. Well, guys, the free agency workout is taking place. If you registered, we're going to get those invitations out to you. If you haven't registered, I encourage you to do it. It's free to do so. And as these opportunities with the other leagues are happening as we speak with their camp, just let you know that it's not just about getting in front of the being seen. It's also about getting that work and understanding what you've been doing wrong. So, I'm out. It's Bryan, Kevin Smith, 3-time Superbowl champ.